It's incredibly important to understand that QLab doesn't create media. In the case of sound design, QLab takes existing audio files, music, sound effects, and so forth, and plays them back. At some point, I assume you have on your computer an audio file to be played. You probably have the resources to find music and sound effects, or have the skills to create your audio from scratch. If you don't, we've provided a few resources for you at the end of this lesson. Once you have your audio file, for example, I have a short fanfare here, there are several ways to place the file into QLab to be played. What's right? Well, that really depends on your workflow and your personal preferences. The simple method is to drag the file into QLab and drop it into the queue list. Ta-da! That's it. I can click on it, hit go, and there's my fanfare. But there are actually a few steps happening here, so let's break them down. Method number 2, a queue list can contain multiple queue types. Here in my toolbox, you'll see an icon that represents each one. From here, you can add any of these queues, then specify the information pertaining to that queue. For example, here's an audio queue. I can either drag the icon into my queue list or use its hotkey, Command 1. Here now we have a new audio queue with no audio file assigned. That file is referred to as the queue's target. I can define the queue's target by simply dropping the file onto the queue's row, much like I did before in the previous method. Drag, drop, select, go. Simple and easy. The next method is simply a variation on the previous one. Here in the queue list is a small button. If I click it, I'm shown a Finder window. I can use this dialog box to navigate to the location where my sound effects or music are kept and select the needed file. Press OK, and we're off to the races. The final method is, once again, a variation. Once a queue is added, I can assign a target in the Inspector tab by either dragging the file onto this box or by double-clicking and selecting the file. What's especially nice about this box is that I can now identify the location of the file using the breadcrumbs. Where was that file stored again? Don't worry, I've got this. In fact, click this button here and QLab will take me directly straight to that folder.